In this video, we're going to be doing a Team USA team preview for the 2018 World Junior Championship Tournament. And that's coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. On this channel, we review and analyze all 31 NHL teams as well as international tournaments with an unbiased opinion. So if you love hockey, hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss anything. Alright, let's take a look at Team USA. Obviously, the 2017 edition of Team USA were World Junior Championship gold medalists. So now they're looking to defend their gold medal and they're hosting the tournament in their home country. So obviously Team USA is looking to repeat here as champions. And they've got an excellent team on paper. They look like they're a completely stacked team, and they certainly have an excellent chance at repeating for the gold medal for sure. I'm not sure if you can call them the clear-cut favorites, but they're definitely a well-stacked team, and I fully suspect that they'll give any team a good run for their money here and have an excellent shot at for sure competing for the gold medal, if not winning it for sure. So Team USA looks good. Let's take a look at some of their key players. So you can keep an eye on these guys. Obviously, depending on what teams you cheer for in the NHL, a lot of these guys obviously are already drafted, and you may be seeing some of your prospects coming up through the organization that you cheer for. So let's take a quick look. Probably their top player, the most notable one, is Casey Mittelstadt, who's a former first-round draft pick of the hosting Buffalo area. So he's drafted by the Buffalo Sabres. He's a first-round draft pick. Of all the players, he was the highest pick on the team right now. So Casey Mittelstadt is a very dynamic center. I've seen some speculation that he may end up playing on the wing. I'm not sure if that's a for sure thing yet, or he very well may play center, but he's a very dynamic player. He's certainly going to be a top star in this tournament, and he certainly has an excellent shot at the NHL. And with the Buffalo Sabres team that drafted him, considering where things are at with them, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mittelstadt in their lineup sooner than later. I wouldn't be totally shocked if it happened next year, if not the year after for sure. But Mittelstadt is definitely a player you want to keep your eye on. Now their captain this year is forward Joey Anderson. A couple other notable guys, forward Kiefer Bellows. Kiefer Bellows is a second generation player. His dad Brian Bellows is a former NHLer. Kiefer Bellows is going to be an alternate captain for the team. He's playing at Boston University and is a New York Islander draft pick. He certainly has a lot of goal scoring prowess, so keep your eye on Bellows for sure for Team USA. Other couple guys here, Kailer Yamamoto, who you've probably seen in the NHL this year. He had his little tryout, the Edmonton Oilers. He played in the early season. I can't remember how many games he got into, but before the window closed where they could send him back to junior, they ended up doing just that. But he was certainly quite impressive through training camp and where he got a crack at the team. And at times was playing with Connor McDavid. So this guy can play. He's a really fast player. So certainly keep your eye on Yamamoto. Another guy who's going to be on the line with Yamamoto is really massive guy, 6'6" center iceman Logan Brown, who's an Ottawa Senator draft pick. Now Logan Brown also technically made the NHL club this year at a training camp. He did get into a little bit of action. He played in a few preseason games. And I can't remember, I think it was 1 or 2 games that he played with the Senators in the regular season as well, and he did look really solid, but obviously could still use some more seasoning before making the NHL. But where he did get a shot this year to play a few games, I think there's an excellent chance that Logan Brown starts next year in Ottawa. So Logan Brown, Kailer Yamamoto, we're going to be playing together, which you could probably argue is their first line, but in some cases it's looked at their second line. Now their line mate was most likely to be Brady Tkachuk. Now Brady Tkachuk is an undrafted player. You probably heard the last name before. In case you're not familiar with Brady specifically, yes, he is the brother of Matthew Tkachuk, and they are both the sons of former NHLer and star Keith Tkachuk. Now Brady Tkachuk is a lot like his brother Matthew. If you've seen him play in the NHL, he's a fairly big guy. He's got the grit and the greasiness. But the one thing that Brady seems to have, more so than Matthew, is a little bit more on the offensive side. So the report on him is that he's got a lot of the same attributes as his brother and his father, but he can score at a little bit better pace. Brady Tkachuk is, at this point anyways, things can change because it's still early, but he's most likely going to be in a top 5 draft pick in the upcoming draft. So Brady Tkachuk is expected to be playing a really big role for Team USA. and he's expected to play with Brown and Yamamoto. So they've got a lot of firepower up front. As I mentioned before, with Middlestat and Bellows and Anderson, that's they've got some other guys as well. But those are going to be your top forwards. Team. So in my opinion, that's just a stacked group of guys. I mean, they've got that's not all the talent they have, but just that alone is quite. They should be able to put the puck in it quite a bit. Now in goal, they've got Jake Ottinger, who's a Dallas Stars draft pick, playing in Boston University. Now he's a returning player, so he's got some action last season as well. Last year, the World Juniors. So Jake's expected to be an excellent goaltender. Now, a lot of times with goalies, when it comes to the NHL draft, you don't see too many go in the first round, mainly because they develop a little bit different and they develop a little bit later than a lot of other positions. So typically, there's not a lot of goalies end up being first round draft picks, but he was. So that goes to show how highly the Dallas Stars thought of him to use that first round selection on him. So I think he's got a lot of potential and certainly a key player for Team USA. If he can play up to his usual standards, then he's going to be making it awfully hard on the opposition to be getting a whole lot of anything past him for sure. Now, if we take a look at Team USA on the back end, one guy to keep your eye on is an undrafted player. Goes by the name of Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes is a top defenseman for Team USA and expected to be another first round selection in this year's 2018 entry draft. So there's definitely a few guys on Team USA that haven't been drafted yet. You may not be overly familiar with, depending on how closely you watch the junior teams, or in the NCAA as well, because a lot of these guys play in the US as well as for the Canadian junior leagues as well. So there's definitely lots to like about Team USA. They have lots of proven guys who have been there before. They have a fair bit of returning players, and they have some young guys that are there for the first time and are not drafted yet, and they've got a lot to prove, and they've got a lot of abilities. So Team USA, I would fully suspect, has an excellent shot at finishing first place in their division. As I mentioned in the World Junior Preview video, they're having a big outdoor game against Team Canada December the 29th. Obviously, as you may know, the Buffalo Sabres are hosting this year's NHL Winter Classic, so they've got the outdoor arena already in place. So, of course, having the World Juniors there at the same time made it happen to have an outdoor game at this year's tournament. So, obviously, that's something that's going to be for the first time in this tournament. We're going to have an outdoor action, Canada versus US. Those games are always hard-fought battles and are always quite dramatic and epic in nature. So, you definitely want to. If you're a Team Canada, Team USA fan, regardless of who you're cheering for, you definitely want to take in that game. It's going to be a tremendous event for sure. So Team USA looks excellent. I think they have an excellent shot at repeating. I'm definitely going to make it into the medal round. I'm not going to be making any predictions here in these videos as to who I think will win, but I will say who I think has an excellent shot, and Team USA is certainly right at the top of that list. So if you're a Team USA fan, you're going to have lots to cheer for. The games get underway December the 26th here on Boxing Day, so definitely stay tuned for that. We've got a Team Canada preview video coming up as well, so stay tuned for that. That'll be here posted very shortly, and we'll catch you in the next video.